Hi, my amazing planner friends. It's Jess from Magical Planner, and today we're going to be swatching out some new fountain pen inks. This is part of a larger order that I had from Vanness Inks, and I can't wait to share this with you. Most of these are Vinta inks with one Wearingeul ink in here, but before we get into that, I wanted to go over my process for swatching so you know what's in store. Usually what I do is I put down a drop of ink with a pipette. I'll spread it out with a sandwich bag, and then I use my Pilot dip pen, which is a medium nib, to write out the name of the ink and do a couple strokes and stuff with it. All right, that being said, I will link the other half of this haul up above if you want to see those other inks, but this portion has 4 Vinta inks and a Wearingeul. So this first one here is Vinta's Saifin. I'm not sure how to say this. Sailfin Green, which is obviously easier to say than the Filipino name. And this has a green and blue kind of combination. I do think it's interesting to note that when you order from Vanness Pens, you do get a 4 milliliter sample, which is larger than a lot of the other samples I've seen, but they also seem to be color coding their labels, which I think is really kind of cool, so that when you look at the label, you not only see the name of the ink, but the color. I haven't noticed that with my Goulet pen samples, but maybe it's there. But anyhow, that's our first ink. Next, we have Wearingeul's I Am Cat, which I'm really interested in trying out. Obviously, it has a really nice gold shimmer. Then we have Vinta's Elusive Blue, which will be a really nice blue, I'm hoping. And then we have Vinta Mother of Pearl, which will be a black ink. At least I think it's black with some pearlescent shimmer in there. And then this one is an exclusive to Vinta Pens, which is Sodalite Shimmer, I believe. I could be pronouncing these wrong, but look at that shimmer. And the Vinta inks that I have sampled, the shimmer-tasticness of them is kind of unmatched. They have an amazing amount of shimmer, but I haven't had the clogging issues that I've had with some of the other shimmer inks that I've tried. So I'm interested to try more of them to see if that's kind of something that is the whole brand is just kind of known for. So that all being said, I will have timestamps for each one of these inks down below. So if you want to skip to a specific ink, you can. But let's go ahead and get started. And maybe we start with this Sodalite Shimmer, or however you pronounce it. It is Sodalite. So I think that's Sodalite, but maybe it's pronounced something else. I do love just mixing these inks because they're so fun. Very, very shimmery though. For the most part, I think these are the most shimmery inks that I own, tend to be the Vinta inks. Okay. Let's go ahead and spread that out. I'm hoping to do all of these on one page, but we'll have to see. So I will do the writing and everything, and at the end I do close-ups to show you what all the inks look like dried, but this is wet. You can see a very pearlescentness to it, which is really cool. You go ahead. I'm going to shake it just a little bit before. Man, I'm really liking this color as long as it's not too light when I write with it. I'm a little concerned about that, but we'll see. Okay, there's a good dip. So we want to put the Vinta down because I always put down the brand. I think it's going to be dark enough to write with. That'll be nice. Okay. It does feel a little bit like it's not flowing like some of the other ones that I've had, so it could just be the amount I have on this dip. But we will see. I like to do a square because sometimes, well, this kind of shows me how it flows off the pen nib a little bit, but it also kind of, it sometimes looks a little different than the big swatch. Oh, we still have stuff on there. Good. So it seems to go quite a ways, which I've noticed tends to be the case with these Vinta inks. Okay, there's the first one. And like all the other ones that I've had, oh my goodness, it's so pretty. All right, let's do this this green one that I didn't know how to say that first word of, which I think is green with maybe some blue shimmer in it, which I think will be really pretty. Maybe like, I don't know, a lot of things right now are making me think of like the ocean or the sea. So we'll see how this one goes. It's a really nice green from what I can tell just through the bag. It'll always be a little darker through the bag than it actually is. Okay, there's the green. I can see blue on the edges. So let's shake it again. All right. Oh, I like this green a lot, actually. Saifin Green. And we'll do a squiggle. And we still have enough for these strokes. All right, there's our second ink. I think what I'm going to try and do is all of the Vinta inks on this page, and then I can go back and do the Wearingeul on the previous page. I just realized I forgot to put a piece of paper underneath so it doesn't bleed through. Hold on. It doesn't look like it's going to, but just in case. All right, I'm going to set the I Am Cat back, and let's do the purpley one. Blue, purple? It's got a purple label, so I'm thinking it's purple. I just love the shimmer in these. This one is so pretty already, and so is this one. Okay, I think that's pretty well agitated. You just need like the teeniest bit to do these swatches. It always surprised me like how far a sample actually goes. Oh yeah, it's a nice deeper blue. Not loving that swatch shape as much as these ones, but it's okay. It is what it is, right? Okay, and this was the Elusive Blue. Nice. Okay, our last Vinta ink is that Mother of Pearl, which I'm very interested in. I think having a nice black ink with a little pizzazz is very awesome. This one does seem to need a little bit more time to get the shimmer going. There we go. And the label is kind of this grayish color. Oh, wow. This is going to be really cool, I think. It has more green in it than I thought it would. We'll have to see how it dries, but that's really intriguing. Because I was thinking more black, but this seems to be black with like green. Maybe even some blue in there. Oh, Mother of Pearl. Whoa. I do have a little droplet of water that was right there. So if that looks a little funny, plus I tried to use the wrong letter. Now, this one's probably the easiest to write with so far, actually, which is interesting. The other ones are fine. It's just this one is a little, I don't know, easier flowing. Okay, we're going to let these 4 dry, and then I will do the I Am Cat. And then once I have all 5 of them, we'll do close-ups. So, all right, time for our last ink, which is the Wearingeul I Am Cat, which I think is like a black ink with gold. I could be wrong on that. And I know that there is some specialness to this ink because it was like a retted or something ink. I don't quite know all the details other than I know it was kind of a user based ink, for lack of a better term. Just agitating everything up. Okay, I think I've got it sufficiently mixed. Oop. Easy enough. And we will spread that out. Nice. I can see some of the shimmer. It looks lighter than I thought it would be, but we'll have to see how it writes. I have heard that this is very popular with people, so I'm curious. All right, Wearingeul. I am, oops, it says it looks like I still have some, but it's not flowing very well. Cat. Oh, you can definitely see that gold coming out over here. Okay, interesting. This one may not flow as easily as some of the other ones. Like the color seems okay, but it doesn't seem to want to write as well as some of the other ones I have. So we'll have to see. We're going to let that dry, and then I will do close-ups of all the inks. All right, everything is dried, so let's go ahead and take some close-up looks. We'll start on this page and go to the next one. So first, not a ton of bleed through, which is really good. So the Wearingeul I Am Cat is really, I think, more of a gray and not so much of a black with this gold sparkle to it. It didn't write as well as I would have hoped. Like, it felt like it kept getting clogged even with my dip pen, which doesn't bode well. But we'll see if that was just a fluke or not. In the writing, I do see quite a bit of gold up until where I started having some issues. So we'll see how that ends up being. The rest of the writing, it's there, but it's more subdued. But definitely, I think more of a gray than a real black. I don't have anything that really falls in this category, I don't think. Like the Wizard's pencil is more of a greenish and a darker tone gray. I have some blacks, but none of them are even close. So we'll leave it at that. Then for the Vinta inks. So these are stunning. They really are. As for bleed through, we have a little bit on the swatching, which isn't surprising. You're having a large quantity of ink there. But we'll start at the top with this Vinta Sodalite Shimmer, which is a really light blue with like almost a turquoise shimmer to it. It is one of the most beautiful inks I've ever seen. Honestly, I love the Vinta inks so far. They are absolutely gorgeous. So I don't know what else to say about it. You do have some color variation in there, which is nice. I don't see a whole lot of that in the writing sample, but it could be that I needed more ink on the nib to get to that. So we'll see. I'll be interested to see how that turns out in a pen. Now this saffron green is like probably my favorite green color that I've tried. I have a couple of others that are top contenders, but it's a green and it has a little bit of a bluish sheen on the edge, or like color shift, something of that nature. And then you have a blue shimmer to it, which you don't see very much of in the writing samples. So I don't know if it had sunk down too much to really see it. You get a little bit of it in the square, but other than that, it's more the color shift element that you're seeing. So I have some spots that have more blue tinges and more green, and I just really like it. I think it's going to be really fun to write with. Then we have the Elusive Blue, which really reminds me, so I don't think I have colors that match these two, but the Elusive Blue reminded me of a little bit of Mystic Mountain, or Witch's Starlight. So it looks like a lighter version maybe of the Witch's Starlight. So not exact matches for sure, but it's a nice kind of gray blue with pink shimmer to it. And you even get some spots that are almost purple in there, which is really nice. I didn't like, there's almost no glitter in the writing, which is interesting. So it must have fallen really fast. So it's just interesting to note. It doesn't mean that it's not going to show up in the writing. It simply means, like, sometimes it's a little tricky with the dip pen. And then the last one was the Vinta Mother of Pearl, which is, so it went down almost greenish in tones. And I still see almost a little bit of green in this area, but it's more of a darker, I don't quite want to say black because it's not quite black. It's maybe along the lines of that Wizard's pencil as far as tones, only this one has less green in it. But it dried very, very much into the gray category and not the green. And then the shimmer really popped out in a silver. And so it just, it looks really cool. I think this would be a fun ink for like Halloween time, especially in that time of year. I think these are going to be nice. Well, I think the Elusive Blue is probably a universal time, but these top two I think would be really nice for summer inks. But those are my thoughts, and that's everything I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll see you real soon.